Hello and a very good morning to all those watching this broadcast. You're watching First Take here on News 9 Live. I am Krishna Kumar. We begin with the stock markets and take a look at how Sensex and Nifty have opened this morning. If you can pull up those graphics, bear in mind today on First Take, we will be talking about the data that has been put out by AMFI, the Association of Mutual Funds of India, and the scorching pace of numbers that the mutual fund industry has been notching up. But before that, we're going to take a look at some of the stock markets broad pointers for the day. Sensex and Nifty hitting fresh record highs this morning. Take a look at that at 10 a.m. There you go. Nifty 50 above that 21,000 mark, up 0.15% in the green. The Sensex too, barely, marginally in the green, trading just below that historic 70,000 mark, 69,974 to be precise. You have the Nifty mid cap, small cap, all in the green. India's volatility index, the VIX index, is also up just about 0.13% at 12.78, which is within manageable range as it's being called. So that's the morning mood check. Nifty, Sensex, mid cap, small cap, all up in the green on your screens. Nifty mid cap up and the small cap up nearly 0.5% in the green, clearly outperforming the broader indices of Nifty and Sensex. Nifty mid cap at 44,889, Nifty small cap at 14,610, up 0.5% in the green. We have a very special guest joining us on this edition of First Take, Mr. Gaurang Shah. Before he joins in, here's a quick check of the broader markets at the morning mood check here on First Take. Nifty, Sensex, mid cap, small cap, all up in the green. In the same breath, let's also get a quick check of how global markets have been trading. S&P 500, bear in mind, closing up nearly 0.5%. So did the Dow as well, closing up nearly 0.5% in the green. We're talking about Wall Street closing as of Monday night. And Hang Seng, Hong Kong's Hang Seng too, up 1%, nearly 1% in the green over there. So Asian markets too are doing really well this morning. On the back of that good performance from Wall Street overnight. Bear in mind, Wall Street has been on a winning streak. It did lose some of the momentum last week, but seems to have regained since. And they say on Wall Street, it's the lack of bad news that's actually driving US stock markets up. And clearly on your screens, all indices there ending clearly in the green. As far as Wall Street is concerned, Asian markets in the form of Hang Seng up nearly 1% in the green. So all in all, it's all green all across the board, be it Dalal Street or Wall Street or any of the markets in Asia as well. And bear in mind, Asian markets are up ahead of key US inflation data that is meant to come out today. That's why it's not just Hong Kong's Hang Seng, Japan's Nikkei has been up as well. And it's also the futures for Hong Kong. Also, the future markets for Hong Kong also pointing out to a robust trend going forward. Bear in mind, it all is happening after a benign start to the week in the US markets as well. But for now, Asian markets up ahead of key US economic data, and also bear in mind meetings of major central banks across the world that will all give cues about the likelihood of a possible rate cut next year. Bear in mind, stock markets advance across the board. Japan, South Korea, Australia, all of them up as well. That is on the back of S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100 outperforming in the US, with chip makers in the US, stocks of chip makers in the US doing really well, bear in mind. So it's overall all green in trading this morning, be it Dalal Street or global markets across the world. We'll have to wait and watch how the European markets open come afternoon. But for now, as you can see, it's all a sea of green, be it in the US or in Asia or in India. So good signs for the Indian stock markets. Bear in mind, the Indian stock markets have been on a blistering bull run across the board for the last 6 months, and that bull run got even better with the announcement of the results of the state elections, where Indian markets are confident about what's going to happen come the big elections, the big Lok Sabha elections in 2024. So the stock markets in India set for a major bull run going forward, and it's witnessed this morning. Bear in mind, there you go, Nifty and the Sensex both scaling lifetime highs. Bear in mind, just yesterday, Sensex scaling lifetime highs, and then Nifty as well last week. So it's been an incredible bull run in India that is continuing this morning as well. So all those watching our broadcast, bear in mind, it's going to be like this for a while, because that's the cues going forward as well. And we are also noticing this trend, the green trend, essentially extending across other stock markets as well, across the world. Nifty, bear in mind, scaled the 21,000 peak, and Sensex also hit the 70,000 peak in a volatile session yesterday. Meanwhile, let's quickly take a look at that AMFI data that I've been talking to you about. Some record numbers as far as, bear in mind, the assets under management of Indian mutual funds is near the 50,000 crore rupee mark. And there you go, SIP's assets under management in November 2023, 9.31 lakh crores as compared to 8.59 lakh crores. That's the kind of inflows that the Indian stock market, Indian mutual funds have witnessed. SIP accounts also touched an all-time high. The number of accounts that we're talking about, not the 7.5 crore, 7.44 crore accounts that have been opened. That is open as of November 2023, whereas in October 2023 it was 7.3 crores of SIP accounts. So be it the overall mutual fund picture or the individual SIP picture, all of them looking extremely bright as far as India's mutual fund industry is concerned. The AUM, overall AUM, is at 50 lakh crore rupee mark. It's been 33 months of inflows into equity mutual funds. 33 consecutive months of inflows into equity mutual funds that is contributing to all of this. SIP contributions alone have crossed the 17,000 crore rupee mark for the first time. It's a historic high of 17,073.3 crore rupees in the month of November 2023. While equity funds have seen inflows, debt funds have seen outflows. Debt funds have witnessed outflows of over 4,700 crore rupees in November as compared to 42,600 crore rupees of inflows reported in the month of October. So November, there's been a change. Debt funds are seeing outflows, while even as equity mutual funds are seeing inflows for the 33rd consecutive fund. Multi-asset funds seeing the largest inflows in the hybrid category. On your screens right now are the equity funds, small cap, mid cap, large cap, clearly split up as the nomenclature grows. The maximum inflows into small caps, nearly 3,700 crore rupees for the month of November. Mid caps witnessing 2,666 crore rupees in inflows for the month of November 2023. Large caps witnessing inflows of around 1,353 crore rupees. And that essentially, all those inflows essentially meant that it is nearly 2.5 years of 3 years of inflows into equity mutual funds. So clearly, no matter what kind of mutual funds come into the market, equity mutual funds continuing to rule the roost with the maximum amount of inflows, and continuing with inflows, no outflows, no let up into the money flowing into equity mutual funds, unlike debt mutual funds, which have witnessed an outflow in the month of December as compared to a huge inflow in the month of October. SIP assets under management at 9.3 lakh crore rupees. That's also a significant jump from the 8.59 lakh crore rupees in the month of October 2023. That is specifically when it comes to AUM as far as SIPs are concerned. And multi-asset funds, I've been telling you, largest inflows in the hybrid category. Multi-asset category has seen the largest inflows, second only to arbitrage. Investors are clearly wanting to diversify their asset classes, even when it comes to investing in mutual funds. So clearly they are taking to mutual funds that are investing across the board, multi-asset funds, multi-asset category funds. And meanwhile, NFOs have raised around 2,583 crore rupees this month, a total of 14 schemes. Bear in mind, 14 mutual fund schemes launched in the month of November 2023. And in both open-ended and close-ended categories, raising a total of 2,583 crore rupees. 6 schemes were from the equity category and accounted for over 1,900 crore of funds collected in the month. So even as far as the new fund offers are concerned, 14 schemes launched, out of them, 6 of them, nearly half of them, but overwhelming part of the money inflow of the 2,583 crore rupees that came through NFOs, over nearly 2,000 crore rupees or over 1,900 crore rupees came from equity funds. The other point to note here is that while equity funds are doing continuously well, gold ETFs, gold export trade funds, exchange trade funds are dipped to 333 crore rupees. The quantum of net inflows in gold ETFs have dipped in the month of November 2023. It was at around 840 crore rupees in the month of October 2023, but now it is down to just 333 crore rupees. So there is the ongoing geopolitical tensions and US inflation still higher than what is desired. Now, because of all of which, the appeal of gold as a safe haven hedge against inflation should continue going forward. But for now, we're only talking about the data, the latest data released by AMFI, which points to the fact that the equity funds on your screens are the ones that are clearly ruling the roost, and overall the mutual fund industry showing robust improvement over a period of time, over a course of time, no let up. And specifically speaking, more and more people taking to SIP, 17,000 crore rupees that have come in the month of November. That's a record high in itself. So we will be discussing all of this with our guest who is set to join us shortly. That's the data as far as the mutual fund picture in India is concerned. But meanwhile, in the stock markets, let's get back to our stock markets, where SpiceJet shares are trading 7%, are hitting lifetime highs based on the company's plan to announce their listing plans on the NSE soon. That's what we understand. So SpiceJet shares doing really well this morning as far as India stock market is concerned. Bear in mind, we've just opened for trading and it's all in the green in India's market. As SpiceJet has announced plans, if you're wondering why the SpiceJet stock is up in trading this morning, they've announced plans to list on the stock markets very soon, and it's up around 2.5%. Bear in mind, it was up 7% as yesterday and continues its upward trajectory, and it will consider fundraising and also report its second quarter results. That's what we understand. So a lot of clarity coming in from SpiceJet, and SpiceJet shares up 15%. Bear in mind, after news came that they have plans to list on the NSE, and we will continue to track what is happening with SpiceJet as it goes by, because bear in mind, the questions on fundraising will have to be answered, the questions on financial performance will have to be answered to justify all the rally in the stock markets. But just the fact that they are willing to list is very important. We have Gaurang Shah now joining us on the broadcast. Gaurang, if you can hear us clearly, can you hear us, Gaurang?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you so much. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning, Gaurang. The question I have to ask you is, one is, it's all in the green as far as India stock markets is concerned this morning. And in fact, Wall Street closing in the green overnight, Asian markets up even before Indian markets open for trading. It's all green all over the world.
Thank you, and morning to all of you also. They are in the green, but we have been in the green for a better period of time than they were. And I think we were the first ones to outperform the emerging market basket, and we still remain one of the outperforming markets. There could be 1 or 2 days of profit booking. This can be either throughout the day or intraday, given the kind of rally that we've seen over the past maybe about 40, 45 odd days. Just to spin back, I think 2nd of November, Nifty was trading below 19,000. And we are on 12th of December and surpassed 21,000 on the Nifty and surpassed 70,000 on the Sensex. The backdrop still remains positive, but given the rally, I think short to medium term traders would tend to come and book some profits. It would be healthy for the market if we get some correction. But I don't think that that's going to be anything prolonged. Possibly we are looking at 21,500 in the immediate short to medium term and at much more elevated levels from a longer term perspective.
Right, Gaurang Shah there with their perspective on how the stock markets in India have opened for trading this morning. And with that, we have to take a short breather over here. Coming soon on News 9 Plus is a story called Battling the Bias. Do credit ratings really matter? While India is the world's fastest growing major economy, global rating agencies have placed India just above the quote-unquote junk grade. India has never defaulted on debt repayments and its dollar reserves are at a record high. So are the agencies being fair or are they biased against India?
Is there a bias in favor of the developed countries and against developing countries and emerging market economies? The answer is patently clear. There is such a bias. It's a documented bias.
It has taken a very interesting and insidious turn. If you ask them how they do it and you go into their methodologies, you will see they're completely non-transparent.
I am a strong believer that all these agencies, their business is in the business of credibility. So as long as investors are making money, if they don't upgrade the ratings, they would end up, facing a credibility challenge.
This and more streaming now on the world's first news OTT, News 9 Plus. Download now.
Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching Business